Hi, everybody. Welcome back to VCTV. I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott, and today, like we do always here on VCTV, we like to talk about blockchain and fintech, and we've got a special edition of VCTV today where I'm going to be reading some of the big headlines to give you an update on all that's happening in this space. As we know, this industry continues to change and evolve on a per second, if not millisecond basis. So we're going to give you the rundown today of what's happened in the last 24 hours and in some cases the last 10 minutes to make sure you're up to date on all the latest trends, again, as investors or as entrepreneurs. So let's jump into the rundown today. Big news went through the industry just a few days ago as as Tesla's CEO and founder Elon Musk came out and said that the company had purchased $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Well, not to be outdone, we have a wave of corporations coming out doing something similar or making bigger news as well. Elon also mentioned that Tesla would be accepting Bitcoin as payment for Tesla vehicles. Well, Uber, as of today, came out and Uber's CEO said the company will start to accept Bitcoin as well for passengers if there's a need for it in the very near future, something to stay tuned for. We also had MasterCard come out just a few days following Visa as Visa rolled out their entire plans for what they were going to be doing, not just in digital currencies, but crypto and blockchain as a bigger part of bringing the entire world onto their network. MasterCard came out and also said, hey, we're here too. Don't forget about us. And that we are going to be bringing digital currencies and cryptocurrencies and like to our 1 billion users around the world and over 30 million merchants as well. So whether you're Visa or your MasterCard users as a business, you'll soon be able to start accepting cryptocurrencies. And as consumers, you'll start to be able to transact. Now, this is not the first time we've heard of these two companies being engaged in this type of news or headlines or really infrastructure as well as many cards. So we've had debit cards that have been created from exchanges and the like to be used for the transfer of or purchase of digital currencies. However, this is big news that the two biggest players in this game right now said, hey, we're going to bring this as a part of our infrastructure. Well, even bigger news, Amazon. Amazon has been teased about. We have heard rumors from day one that Amazon may be doing a digital currency, maybe the Amazon coin. Who knows? Well, come full circle, multiple years later, here we are in 2021. And guess what? Amazon is about to launch a digital currency project in Mexico. This will be the first time we've seen Amazon really make a public-facing effort around digital currencies this year and in general as well. So stay tuned as the e-commerce giant starts to launch this project, again, around digital currencies in Mexico. And with all of these corporations getting into the Bitcoin game and putting it on their balance sheet following MicroStrategy's wonderful play, is Twitter potentially next? We know that Jack and Square have huge efforts in this space, but what about Twitter? And there are some rumors floating around right now that Twitter may be pursuing adding Bitcoin to its balance sheet. There was a recent CNBC interview where this was considered and discussed as well. Stay tuned. We'll be sure to follow that story and bring you more on that as it starts to develop. Also today, the Bank of New York Mellon, BNY Mellon, the world's largest custodian bank with almost $41 trillion in assets under management, is moving into crypto. They announced today that they'll be rolling out an entire new division focused on digital custody later this year in 2021 to help clients with digital assets, including cryptocurrencies, when it comes to custody. So stay tuned on where that continues to flourish. Nervos has launched one of many new venture funds that have happened this week. They've launched a $5 million venture fund to support decentralized exchanges, synthetic asset protocols, and other DeFi projects. We also had announcements that the Spartan Group, based out of Southeast Asia, unveiled a new $50 million DeFi, decentralized finance venture fund. And today, moments ago, about 10 minutes before we started this cast today, Kraken has announced the launching of a new independent venture fund called Kraken Ventures. They will be investing in early stage companies right around 250,000 to 3 million US dollars, looking at the areas of fintech, cryptocurrency protocols, DeFi, AI, and many others. So essentially looking at the entire blockchain landscape as it stands. Earlier this week, we also had the largest NFT, non-fungible token, sale ever. If you haven't been paying attention, the NFT, again, non-fungible token in digital collectible space has been on fire the past few weeks. We've seen sales in not just in the high five digits, but we've also seen 6-digit sales. That's $100,000+ for digital goods. Well, earlier this week, the largest sale happened. We saw 9 Genesis plots in Axie Infinity go for about 888.25 ETH, right around $1.5 million. Something to pay attention to, not just for that particular game, but in all of the digital collectible space, as we're starting to see more gaming and in art, along with collectibles and moments, along with much more starting to enter this space. We've even seen tokenized essays recently come to fruition as well. Speaking of decentralized finance, total lock value, TLV, according to DeFi Pulse, has again reached all-time highs today, almost touching $40 billion again in TLV. That's 39.94 billion just before we started this cast here today. That's up from $1 billion from yesterday. And again, if we go back full circle to May of last year, we just crossed that billion threshold. Here we are, still not even a year later, and we're up almost $40 billion in TLV, showing the continued growth of decentralized finance. There's been a lot of announcements and a lot of progression at the infrastructure level around projects in that space. Stay tuned for more. Also, Thailand's oldest bank, SCB, announced a $50 million fund called SCB10X that will be dedicated to blockchain and DeFi projects. No more details than that right now, but that's where we're seeing another venture fund. BlockFi has officially announced the launching of its Bitcoin Trust. One of many we've seen from announcement standpoint over the new year here in 2020, expecting a lot more to come, not just from BlockFi, but from many other companies in this space, whether it's Bitcoin Trust or it's in the EFT space on the public markets as well. Castle Island Ventures, another prominent investor in the blockchain space, has announced a new $50 million fund to start further investing into the space of, again, blockchain, decentralized finance, and decentralized applications. Also, Charlottesville-based Blue Ridge Bank is said to be the first in the country here in the United States to allow Bitcoins to be bought and sold using ATMs. They've rolled out 19 ATM locations all throughout their branches and off-site ATMs as well. Excited to see how that continues to evolve and develop as, again, going back, we talked about Amazon launching their project in Mexico. We've talked about Kasha in previous episodes of VCTV rolling out ATMs across India. This is a trend, something to, again, pay attention to, also as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are able to be used for more commonly for purchasing. Last but not least, we'll close out today, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan tweeted out yesterday, Bitcoin to the moon. Very exciting and famous tweet, and she has continued to be a champion of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies following a Cameo video and a few other social posts just a few weeks ago. But yesterday she said, Bitcoin to the moon. Well, guess what? Just on the heels of that, she launched a 101 NTF, a digital art piece that at last check was just over about $78,000 US. as well. Something we're going to see continually more as more celebrities and artists and athletes continue to get into this space, realizing the power along with creators themselves at what cryptocurrencies, digital currencies, and the entire world of blockchain can unlock for us all. And this digital economy we're living in now more than ever. With that, that is today's news here on VCTV. We've got more to come for you, and you can always find this news on VCTV as well, on LATOKEN.com. And on VCTV, we have the best and the brightest to cover these topics every single day. So if you like what I just read through, we're going to be talking about it here in just a few minutes and all week on VCTV. So stay tuned, not just on social media, but also on our website, again, LATOKEN.com, for video recaps of this all. Today, I'm your host, Kyle Ellicott. We're going to have more news for you coming almost every day this week and following. So get in your highlights if you've got them, and we'll read them for you as well. With that, we'll be taking a short break and be back here with more as we bring investors to share and talk deeply about these headlines today. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Kyle Ellicott. You can find me everywhere on Kyle Ellicott. Check out the archive, LATOKEN.com/VCTV. And a big thank you to the LATOKEN team and to Maria for making today's episode of VCTV in the News possible.